Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys the weekly reading for Lost Love Soul Contracts. So I actually started this series last week and it went really well. You guys responded to it very positively and said it was very helpful and empowering to you. And I really love to hear that because that's really what my intentions were behind doing this particular series. This series is not meant to focus on another person, revolve your life around them, to stay hung up and wait around for this person. No, it's actually quite the opposite. We're going to dive into a connection that may not have worked out, and we're going to examine what you can learn from this and how you can heal and basically move forward with your life. So we will examine a few different things about, what this person represents for you, a couple of things that maybe they're seeing from their point of view, but we're not really going to be going into what they're thinking about you or feeling about you now and what their messages are for you or anything like that. Those are kind of readings that I've done in the past, and I've moved away from those types of readings, just because I just feel that a lot of people were probably getting really stuck. And I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to always choose yourselves. And even though it's a beautiful thing to connect with another person, there's nothing beautiful, though, about connecting with someone who is either A, not ready, B, unavailable, or just C, somebody that might have told you, hey, I'm not interested. It really doesn't empower any of us to hang on to those types of situations. But the thing is, some of us are kind of left with that question. Why did I meet this person? What did it all mean? Was it all just a figment of my imagination? Why was it so intense at one time? Why did it end, etc.? I've gone through these situations myself, so it's very near and dear to my heart to go into these subjects for you that are still kind of suffering with some confusion or a lack of closure with a person. So just take what resonates for you guys and get rid of anything that doesn't. And all the decks I'll be using here today are created by myself and will be listed down below. So I'm not even going to say what cards are what. Everything's listed down below, and they will be in the order that I use them. All right, you guys, let's get into the reading. So I did create an outline today. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ask, what does Spirit want you to know today about this connection or this person? So let's see what we need to know. What does Spirit want you to know about this connection or this person at this time? What do we need to know? So I actually have 3 decks here for this section. Let's see what we need to know about this situation or this person. We have Spirit of the Shoreline. We have Spirit of Enchantment. And we have Spirit of the Castle, okay? So I love to do layers and really derive a deeper meaning with what's coming through. So I'm going to put these to the side and we're going to start to build the message. So let's look at this Spirit of the Shoreline: calm, tranquil, and relaxing. Okay, so what Spirit wants you to know about, let's just say, this person or the situation at this time? There could be something very tranquil. Maybe you plug into the memory of this person because it gives you some sort of solace. It maybe relieves you from something. I can completely identify with this because there was just a memory that I had, and it was just at a time in my life that was really exciting. And when times were tough in my, in my current life or at that time, I would really plug into the energies of my past because it actually made me feel good. It brought me some sort of relief. So there's nothing wrong if you guys are doing that. But the only problem is if you kind of get stuck in that loop and then you're just rolling around in that same energy over and over again, and then you somehow get stuck or you're not able to enjoy what you have in front of you in reality. That's the only time that it can become a problem. So let's go ahead and get another oracle here, another layer. Yeah, see, that's the thing, hung up. I believe this actually came up last week. I could be wrong, but we definitely don't want to get hung up on this feeling, because any kind of a feeling, you know what I'm talking about, you guys, anything that you're using to feel good, you can end up developing an addiction or get hung up on that feeling and want more, or that's just kind of all you want to plug into because that feels really calm and tranquil and relaxing. So fantasies are one thing, but if you're spending a lot of time in that fantasy world only, and you're not able to participate in your present circumstances or reality, that is eventually going to become a major problem. So that is the message that's coming through immediately here. Let's get a tarot with this one. Yeah, the Three of Wands. So whenever I see the Three of Wands, it immediately reminds me of something that's out there, something that's off in the distance, something that we haven't necessarily obtained just yet. And it's also an energy where we're waiting for something to happen. So even if there is nothing in your present circumstances that you have going on right now, right? And so you're plugging into this and it's not really harming anything or anyone. What I'm getting here is that you could still be hung up on waiting for something to shift, waiting for something to change in this dynamic with this person. And Spirit is letting you know that, if you feel some sort of solace here and you feel some tranquil, calming energy plugged into this, and it's not taking away, or harming you or anyone else, then that is absolutely your right to plug into this energy. But I feel that probably for the majority of people out there, this is taking away from your ability to really fully put yourself into other situations or other circumstances where you can have like a two-way street. You can have that real connection or relationship. I know that trauma does run deep for some people, and some people actually find that it's just safer to stay in this realm of fantasy or this realm of just having a person in a way like in a bubble to where you can't really connect with this individual and things can't really go wrong in that special place or that special world. But I just feel that this is probably more of a negative for some of you guys that are looking to actually have human contact or looking to connect with other people and start building maybe even a new life. So I almost feel like Spirit's saying, hang up the phone, right? It's time to hang up the phone. It's time to stop waiting for this person to reach out to you. It's probably best to just, hang up that phone and don't put your life on hold any longer and just continue to move forward. And if this person does end up calling you or they want to be a part of your life, they'll let you know. But waiting around isn't really going to change anything. So this right here, the key words is we have foresight, expansion, and next stage. So it, in a way, is kind of like the only way that the next stages of our life can move forward is if we hang up the phone, is if we hang up the situation finally, like once and for all. We kind of just like hang up a coat and we walk away. That's what I'm seeing with that. So just take it if it resonates for you. But I feel like Spirit's definitely telling us that we need to move forward, and we absolutely should. We shouldn't put our life on hold for anyone. And a lot of you guys might not even be doing that. A lot of you guys may have already cleared that energy. So there's different stages in the collective, you guys. Not everybody is of the same vibration or at the same stage in their ascension as everyone else. So I like to bring forth these collective readings, and that's why I always say, just take a little bit if it resonates with you. This could be older aspects of yourself. So if that's the case, you can really celebrate how far you've come, right? But we have Spirit of Enchantment. It says spells, captivation, and temporary. I feel like this is also Spirit's way of telling you that there was something that occurred between you and this individual, but unfortunately it was only temporary. Now, there are no predictions here. I can't tell you guys whether or not you and this person will come back together at, let's just say, a later date or another time. But whatever has happened or transpired so far, it seems to have only been a temporary state of affairs. And it may even be that, like, it's like that word spells. It's almost like maybe you have been under a spell or that person was under a spell. Because a lot of the times we can come together with someone and say, oh my gosh, it was so intense. They were so into me. You never dreamt in a million years that that person could not be into you now. And so it screws with your mind and it makes you feel like, did I just make the whole thing up? Was it just one-sided? And you're like, no, I know they felt it too. They said certain things to me, so I know that they were into me. But sometimes real intense energy, very blissful, very lusty, a lot of chemistry, especially when it comes on super strong, can sometimes dissipate rather quickly. As quickly as it starts, it can very quickly dissipate after a period of time, especially when there hasn't been, for some people, other things that have been built within that foundation. So if it was only built on passion and, desire and that chemistry and just all that stuff, then we're not really going to have anything at the end of the day when we come down from that high. So let's get another message here. We have speak up. So we have that lion there that's roaring, and that child. So to me, it's kind of like the child within is wanting to scream, wanting to speak up, and wanting to communicate something here. Maybe some of you guys are regretful because maybe you were under some sort of spell and let a lot of things happen. And now that everything's said and done and over with, you wish that you could have said something or that you would have spoke up. And so there could be regret. There could be something going on. But I'm getting here that the best thing for you to possibly do is to just close the chapter, close the door on this. And I kind of like this because this death card is connected to the sign of Scorpio, and we just had that full moon in Scorpio last week. So I feel like a lot of you guys may have done a ritual where you wrote what you needed to write down. Maybe you burned it up. Maybe you did send something, a text or some sort of message to this individual, just kind of getting it off your chest and just saying, I'm done. It was like a final goodbye. And I like that because this is just kind of proving to yourself in like a ritualistic way that you are ready to let this go. You're ready to let this transition out of your life. You're wanting to experience new energy, but we really can't experience anything new as long as we're still holding on to the old, right? So the death says purging, positive change and endings, right? Some of you guys might also just kind of feel like this is just a temporary state. It's a temporary separation. It's a temporary ending. And so if you know that, then there's really no reason for any of this energy if you're feeling stuck here. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for the phone to ring. You don't have to wait for this person to come back in order for you to start living your life. Start living your life now. Don't wait for anybody. Don't give anybody that much power over you. Continue to have experiences. Continue to grow, learn, and expand. Because the thing is, we're only here in this life, you guys, temporarily. So I do feel like this is Spirit's way of almost like kind of wanting to shake you and wake you up to say, are you living your life to the fullest? Have you had the experiences that you wanted to have? Have you stopped living on account of this pain or what has happened with this individual? Are you just kind of already in a way like dead? You're alive, but you're kind of like your energy is dead. You're not able to rebirth. You're not able to get out into the world and find your voice and make changes and having that interaction with other people. So I feel like Spirit is also saying here that if you guys have been stuck for a while, it's only temporary. You can snap out of this at any time. You can make things happen. You absolutely can. You can make things happen. And I'm seeing for a lot of you guys, you have already transitioned out of this energy. You're accepting that something has just ended. You're accepting that something really just can't move forward at this time. And so you're choosing life. That's what you're doing. You're choosing life is what you're doing. You're no longer going to stagnate. You're no longer going to put your life on hold because of what's happened here or whatever is going on with this person. You're choosing to live. You're choosing to show up for yourself. And that's that very strong strength energy with that lion there. So beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and get another message. We have dormant, and that's kind of cool because I feel like that's the death's energy that we just saw here. Okay, actually I did that wrong here. I meant to put this first. Yeah, spirit of the castle. So usually the spirit of the castle it's a false sense of security, right? We're looking for someone to rescue us. We're looking for someone to come back. We're looking for somebody to, basically save the day. And also we could be putting this fortress around ourselves and closing ourselves off to other situations or other people or other forms of living. But when we do this, what do? We end up imprisoning ourselves. That's why we have the 3 words: fortress, rescue, and imprisonment. They all apply. But the thing is, we end up imprisoning ourselves when we wait. When we wait for other things to happen before we make decisions, before we continue living. We become dormant. We become stagnant. We get stuck. We become imprisoned. So don't wait for anybody to rescue you. Don't wait for anybody else to make moves. So that way, if somebody does this or if they say this, then I'll be happy. No. Be happy now. Live now. Make a choice to move forward now. Don't wait. Okay? Don't wait. Yep. I love that. 9 of Wands. So first of all, look at just the card there with all the fireworks. It's beautiful. All right. But the 9 of Wands is a card that is traditionally talking about really being determined to persevere and close a cycle, right? The next card would be the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands would be the end of a cycle. The 10 of Wands is also about heavy burdens, just being done with the situation. I can't handle it one more minute. So I feel like a lot of you guys are pulling out of investing so much in this situation and investing so much in this person. You might even find that you don't even tune in next week when I do this reading. And that's a beautiful thing. I really don't want somebody to have to plug in every single week to kind of figure out what's going on. A lot of you guys just need to trust what's going on within yourself. We don't always need to seek or consult cards or readings or the energies of the collective to figure out what's going on. Really learn to rely a little bit more on your own inner compass and how you're feeling in your own energy, right? So some of you guys might just decide, you know what? I'm actually done. I'm good. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. I really do. So this is just saying don't get caught up or hung up on waiting on other people. Don't get caught up on waiting for someone to come back, right? Or pacifying yourself with the fantasy because it feels safe, it feels good. There's something about needing to get strong, take the lion by the teeth or the bull by the horns and start to make life happen. Start to show up for yourself. Start to leave old things behind that are dormant or stagnant. Start to make your own reality. Start to build your own life, right? And these fireworks, you're going to find that there's so much out there that you've been hiding from or that you have been shielding yourself from. You're going to thank yourself once you take some steps into a new direction. You're going to feel the excitement. You're going to feel the thrill. And I'm kind of getting here that some of you guys are going to be saying, I can't believe I waited this long to do this. I can't believe that I wasted so much time and energy. And I'm getting here, you don't want to blame yourself. You don't want to berate yourself or be super hard on yourself. You know, you could be stern with yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that again. Sure. But don't get caught up in that, shame. It doesn't serve anybody in a positive way when we do this, right? So just learn from this. But we have this energy and it says exhausted, self-improvement, and pressures. So I kind of like that because sometimes the pressure, sometimes the negative feelings that come up, maybe even dormant that we've pushed down, that we've ignored for so long, sometimes when it comes up to the surface, it is happening so that way we can improve ourselves. That's beautiful. We can improve ourselves here. So we're exhausted. We're feeling so much pressure. Something's getting really heavy. That means something. Let's pay attention to that energy. Let's do something about it. Life is meant to be uncomfortable at certain times, but it's not meant to be constant misery. So take your temperature. Take the temperature of your life. Do you like what it feels like? Are you tired of feeling a certain way? Are you tired of things not changing and not going anywhere? Are you tired of being on an emotional roller coaster because of somebody else's, either back and forth energy, or just they don't know what they want, or whatever the situation is? I mean, at the end of the day, we can only hold ourselves accountable and start to show up for us. That's it. So that is what Spirit wants us to know at the very beginning of this reading. So that is what we have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into your current energy, as in the viewer. Okay, so what is your current energy in relation to the situation? So where is your headspace at? Where is your heart space? What's going on in your 3D, like, reality environment? And what's happening in your spirit? What's happening with your spiritual ascension and growth? So we're actually going to grab 3 cards for this. So this is I'm not going to go into all the cards like I normally do. I'm just going to leave it. It's all in the description box. Okay. Oh, I'm having a hard time grabbing everything. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get some energy for the headspace of the viewer. Where are you at in your mental energy towards this situation and this person? What's going on in the headspace? So I'm going to do 4 cards, and then I'll do another layer and then another. This is the heart space energy. See what's going on in the reality 3D world and what's going on spiritually. Okay. Oh, see, spiritually, I do feel like you guys know that this might be the end of the road. You guys are willing to let this go for a period of time, or just for a lot of you permanently. It's up to you. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put these over here. We'll get to those in a minute. Perfect. We have love lyrics. Okay, so when I designed this card, there was a reason that I called it lyrics. A lot of the times we are listening or looking at the words. We hear certain things. We look up the meanings of lyrics, things like that. But it just means that, words and songs are speaking to our hearts. That's what this love lyrics energy is. So some of you guys could really be listening to a lot of music right now that's bringing up a lot of memories, or you're maybe listening, or you keep hearing songs that remind you or take you back to a time with this person, which is why it might be coming up in your headspace. I'm also getting to that some of you guys might want to express yourself, your heart space, your love, your feelings to this individual. You're thinking about it. So let's see what else. Okay, so we have pay attention to your dreams. Hidden information is waiting to be discovered. And let's get the tarot on that. We have the Magician. So I feel like some of you guys are really thinking maybe of communicating to this person, or trying to materialize something, make something happen. You have a desire. You're thinking about your desires for this individual, and maybe you're thinking, should I reach out to them? Should I try to make something happen? Should I put my energy and focus and time into manifesting something with this person? So I do feel like a lot of viewers out there are probably still hung up on the idea that you guys can create some sort of change or manifest something new in this situation. And who the hell am I to say that that's not possible, okay? But at the end of the day, this is going to be my advice for you. Is this empowering you? Is perhaps focusing on trying to manifest change with this person, or improvement in this situation with this individual? Does it inspire you? Does it uplift you? Does it make you feel like you're doing something positive for you? Or does it make you feel like you're exhausted? Does it make you feel like you're not getting anywhere? Does it make you feel like things are just not materializing? And so it just kind of leads you down this path of feeling sad and disappointed at the end of the day. So I kind of feel like with this pay attention to your dreams, hidden information, and lyrics, I almost feel like some of you guys could be, in a way, putting too much emphasis on numbers, names, signs that you're receiving. And even though there's a magical element to that, it might not be all that we're thinking it is. Sometimes we are continuously reminded of people or things connected to that situation or person, because there's something in us that still needs to be cleared and healed. It's not always because we should be with that person. So I want you guys to just be super discerning. If this is a person that is treating you with kindness and respect, and they want to be in your life, and there is a nice fluid energy, and no one else is getting hurt, and everything is just nice, and there's a lot of integrity that both of you guys are holding in the situation, then I think that there's nothing wrong with wanting to try to work something out and work together with coming together with this individual. But when we started the reading, it was very much coming from the frame of, you've had issues with this person, you and this person are not together right now, etc. Now everybody's story is different, but I just feel that sometimes we can assign way too much emphasis on, I keep hearing this person's name, I keep hearing this song over and over again, I keep seeing numbers, I keep getting all these signs from the universe. And sometimes I feel like these things can be misconstrued. So if you guys are kind of getting caught up in this game where you're continuously hung up and stuck on a person that treats you like shit, or that has hurt you and broke your heart and has never taken responsibility for any of these things, why would Spirit want you to continue to be hung up on them or try to reach out to them to make this work? If your person has not made any effort towards you to fix this or apologize, why would Spirit want you to push to make that happen? So we have to be very careful with the way that we are interpreting signs, because some of that stuff can just be our own stuff that we need to deal with, that we need to clear, that we need to heal. So ask yourself, does this make sense? Or why would Spirit want me to attach myself? And this is just an example. Why would Spirit want me to reach out and try to work something out with someone who might be a chronic cheater, somebody who's not available because they're in another relationship, or somebody that treats you like crap and has never even apologized or taken any responsibility for their actions? Really ask yourself. Seriously, really ask yourself. And I'm also getting that some of you guys may ask your guides and your angels to help gain clarity on this situation through your dreams. Now, that doesn't mean that you will wake up with an answer. It just means that there could be something that comes through, like an object or an animal or something like that, and maybe the next few days it makes sense what that message meant. Because sometimes things are, a little bit more of a mystery because we have hidden information. It's not so in your face, black and white, completely makes sense right away. So there's a little bit of an investigation that you might have to do. So that's what's going on right now. If some of you guys are kind of feeling that, that's the message surrounding that. All right. So now we go into Secret Lover. I'm kind of getting this feeling, you guys, for some of you, and especially if this is in your heart space, some of you guys might want to say something to this person, but you could feel like either you can't, there could be a reason that you shouldn't, or that it hasn't happened, or even in fact that you are a secret to this person's life, the other people in this person's life. And of course, that's no way to start a situation, relationship, connection. That's no way to try to have a successful relationship, is when there's already like that cheating involved, or lies or deception involved. That doesn't mean that you guys can't have a connection and that it's meaningless. But again, we have to ask ourselves, why would Spirit want us to continuously try to make this connection work if people are not available, or if they're lying, or that we have to keep ourselves a secret? We have to keep this connection a secret. Why on earth would Spirit want that for you? They wouldn't. You might want it for you. Your person might want it for you. But that's just straight up coming from your own desires and your own needs, and not really thinking about either consequences of those actions or how it impacts everyone, including yourselves. It's no way to move through and try to work something out when there's just nothing but lies and deception surrounding a connection. So I'm just kind of getting here like you guys know better than this. Yeah. So I just feel like a lot of this is coming from these unhealed past wounds and traumas. It's almost like two people are too wounded to make something work right now. Now, if people wanted to clear these and heal these things and improve their lives, then perhaps maybe something can work out in the very end. But right now, what I'm seeing is to try to make this situation work, it's almost like you've got all the chips stacked against you. And there's a reason that this is this way, because you're not meant to try to make this work right now. You know, we can't make things work with someone or have a conversation with someone when they're not willing to speak truths or to be honest. Can't make it work. You can't have a two-way street with someone like that. So it says triggers brought on by your counterpart are necessary for the healing of past wounds and traumas. So in your heart, you guys, I feel like you guys know that this person has brought something up in you for a reason, and you're meant to clear it and you're meant to heal it. You're not meant to continuously bang your head against a wall and try to fight harder for this. That's not what's happening here. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. So that leads with the heart. I kind of feel like this is your energy. You're leading with the heart. You have a very, very open heart, okay? The Knight of Cups is connected to the sign of Pisces. So maybe if you're dealing with the Pisces or you are a Pisces, this is a special message for you. But I feel like as much as you want to connect with this person, there could be some toxic traits that you're holding. You know, where we're just kind of like taking this hose, right? This fireman, he's taking this hose and he's spraying his love for, God, it sounds so bad. Just sharing and pouring out his heart to this person that might not be right for them, that might not be available, or that might do nothing but wound and harm you. You might have an attraction to toxic people, and it could be because of your own toxic traits that you're attracting that into your life. This is not to blame you or anything. It just means there's something unhealed and unresolved within you. Your average person that might not have these toxic traits would never be attracted to somebody that hides them like they're shit, or lies, or deceives them, or cheats on them. Okay? But perhaps one of the reasons that you might still be into this person or love this person, even though there could be elements of what I just said going on, that's because that's your trauma that's attached to them. That's your wounds talking. It's not really your heart. You might feel like this is all heart. I love this person. I've never felt this way about someone in my life. You bet your ass you didn't, because this trauma is strong. Okay, trauma can feel like some of the most magnificent, just explosive chemistry of your life. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone. It's just in this particular case, if you guys happen to be resonating with these messages, this trauma is very strong, and this trauma is very, very attractive because it fits perfectly into your own dysfunction. So again, these messages are not to hurt you or to shame you. It's to help you to see that there is something that needs to be healed within you. And the wounded parts of yourself want to connect with this individual, want to continue to stay in this dysfunction. You want to continue to participate in the madness, right? So I'm seeing here to take your hose and to turn it on yourself. Instead of trying to give any more to this individual, or to shower this person with your love, or to maybe prove to this person that you're worthy, turn that hose on yourself. Prove it to yourself. Saturate yourself in your own love, okay, in your own adoration. I'm getting here, this person doesn't need it. You need it. So that's what's going on in your heart space. It's almost like they're a mirror to you of what you need to do for yourself. So let it trigger you. Let it bring up all this crap in you. Why? Because it's necessary for your healing. That's why. So that's what's going on in your heart space. So let's see what's going on in the physical world. So we do have these love cords. So this is very interesting to me because this situation might very much be on your mind. And I do hear this a lot. I always think about this person. I'm always reminded about them. I can never forget them. They're constantly on my mind, you know, throughout the day. I couldn't forget about them if I tried, etc., etc. Guys, I've been there before. I know it is possible that it can end. You're not doomed for life. I actually thought I was going to be cursed for the rest of my life, and I was not. And I know a lot of you are going to ask how. I don't think it works that way. I just think it's something that happens. I think that it is just special to each person when they're ready to let it go, or just when the karma is finished or the wound is healed. And I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh my gosh, you know, I'm totally healed, which is why this is gone, because that's bullshit. I got a lot of other wounds and a lot of other traumas. It's just that particular wound is finally transmuted. That's it. But yeah, I no longer have that cord to that individual. I no longer have that heaviness. I no longer have that constant reminder of this person in my thoughts anymore. And it feels so fucking liberating. I could seriously cry because I never thought that I would be free of it ever. I thought I would suffer for the rest of my life. And I'm finally free. And it feels like a miracle. And I think I've said this in previous videos. If you guys are regular subscribers to me and you saw some of my past content, that, you know, I was working with the specific energy of Christ at the very end of the year. And that's when I had this lift of this energy. And I'm not a religious person or anything like that. And I don't even really attach the energies of Christ to a particular religion. I really don't. But it's something that's resonated with me over all the years of my life because my family is Christian. So it just made sense to me that that was the spirit that I was working with in order to really, really help me to heal. So it's just beautiful. All right, so enough about me. Let's go ahead and keep this going. Oh, wow. I mean, I was just talking about, you know, just like that, the karma finally cleared. So we have karmic justice will be served for the highest good of all parties involved. Well, let me talk about myself again, because I feel like some of you guys might be able to identify with this. I had so much rage and hate towards this person, and it had been over a decade, a very, very, very long time. And I always believed that if I let go of the hate and the rage, that they would get away with it, that they wouldn't be punished, that somehow I was in control because of all of the energy I held towards this person or the situation, that they would in equal ways be connected to me. Now, I have absolutely zero proof that this person has ever thought about me or considered me ever again. No physical evidence or proof of that at all. So at the end of the day, if you think about it, it was my experience. It could have all just been in my head, but it doesn't matter. It actually served my highest good to go through what I went through, being connected still to those wounds and everything that I needed to clear and heal. So it was necessary, you know. Could I have saved myself a lot of years of suffering and different things? Sure, but it wasn't meant to be that way. I was meant to be plugged into this energy and fully invested and kind of go on into another path and another belief system connected to it, all to kind of be spit out at the end and go, wow, that was a wild ride, but you know, I'm free now. So whatever it took, I'm grateful. Hey, the timer on the dryer just went out when I said that. That was just like perfect timing. All right, yeah, we've got the devil, you guys. See, there it is. So the devil, and you know, there's light and dark. There's light and dark people. There's light and dark feelings. There's light and dark energies. There's light and dark spirits. There's all kinds of different concepts around that. I'm never going to be one of those people to say the devil made me do it. Hell no. I grew up with that my entire life. And I can't buy into that. Do I believe, though, that people and spirits hold certain intentions. I sure do. Absolutely. We all just within ourselves hold certain intentions, some light, some dark. Some come from toxic places. And that's really what I got for you guys earlier, is that the toxic energy that you were holding in a way had attracted you to that person to begin with, or even if it wasn't that, something came out in that connection that helped you to see, whoa, I never want to abandon myself like that ever again. I never want to lose myself with another person. I never want to do things that maybe I would have never done before, but the temptation and the attraction was so strong, I did it anyways. I went against my better judgment. I didn't act with integrity. All of this karma, what is karma? Karma can, it's neither good or bad, or maybe it's dark and light. I don't really know. All I know is that everything freaking balances out in the end. It really does. Whether it's your own, because I think that when I came into this new age, just this new age, not community, but the new age, just belief systems, it was in 1997. And I think I may have misunderstood karma, didn't really know. I always thought that karma was whatever you do comes back to you. So if somebody lied to me and hurt me and did horrible things, that exact thing was going to happen to that person. I was going to be sitting there, to be happy, eating the popcorn, watching the shit show as it unfolded. That's never happened. I've never really had the pleasure of sitting back and watching someone that has hurt me get theirs. And as a matter of fact, there have been times that I've heard of terrible things happening to people that I've had falling outs with. And it didn't ever make me feel good, actually. I don't think I've ever sat back and went, serves you right. It's so funny, like when you kind of just unplug from a situation, or it's just not that important to you anymore, when you hear tragic things, you're just kind of like, wow, like that really sucks. Like, I feel nothing. I don't feel anything. It's not like I'm praying for good things to happen to this person, but I'm not necessarily praying for bad things to happen either. I'm just kind of in the middle. I just don't really feel anything. That to me is freedom. When you really just don't feel one way or the other, you just are like, it's whatever, right? So to me, this love chords, right? As much as we might still feel like a physical energy, because remember, this is the 3D physical environment. As much as we may still feel connected to this person, right? Or want to be with this person. Some of you guys, even though I did say this is more of like a separation type of a reading, but if you guys are still around your individual because you either have to work with them, or you guys know the same people, or you guys have to go to the same places, what I'm getting here is just because this energy is still there between you and them, or maybe you plugged into them or whatever, I'm really getting here, don't be tempted to try to connect with this person over and over and over again, especially if it's toxic. Just let things balance out the way that they're supposed to balance out. Don't try to take matters into your own hands. I have done that. Wow. I had a boyfriend in the past that did some really shady shit and cheated on me, and of course lied to me, and even still to this day, like they've never been able to admit it. Okay, even though there's evidence of this. But I dealt with it in my own way. I got my own justice, if you will. I did some equal shady shit back, thinking that it was going to make me feel better. And it actually didn't. It made me feel worse. Okay. And I'm not saying that doing that is going to be the same thing for everyone, but it just didn't make me feel as empowered as I thought it was going to. It didn't make me feel any better. Actually, it just didn't. The best thing that I could have possibly done is to just leave the situation and just move on with my life instead of participating in the toxicity and the madness. So if you guys are tempted to physically stay in touch with this individual, make excuses as to why you guys need to see each other or be together, or maybe even continuously to stay in the same job as this person, even though it's freaking killing your soul, might be time to think about maybe trying a different approach. Get a different job. Do something else. I'm not saying that's possible for everyone, but just do what you can to disconnect from the crap. Because if it's physically just making you sick because of cords, we're attached to the cords, the energy, everything this person does or doesn't do, or the people around them, or what we're seeing that's happening in this person's world, that can really, really be a draining, just soul-killing situation. So sometimes we do need to save ourselves from the pits. Yeah. So that's the advice for that. All right, last one. This is the spirit's energy, spiritually, ascension, farewell. Well, let's go back to the very beginning of this reading, you guys. It very much was about death. This was about letting go. This was saying farewell. This is saying it's time for me to move on with my life. It's time for me to, in a way, kind of leave this baggage behind so I can be free, so I can live my life to the fullest, so I can be happy again. Your intuition is divinely guided, so trust that you are being, or trust all that you're being shown at this time. So if your intuition is telling you to pack your bags or to exit a situation and get the fuck out, this card is confirming that that's true. Do it. Okay? And we have the Hermit. Yeah, this is self-contained. Do some research and manage your time more wisely. Time is being wasted either in an environment or being invested in this person or the situation, or investing your time on how you can improve yourself in order to win this person back. I'm not saying that everyone is doing that. Maybe no one is doing that. But if you're doing that, stop wasting your time. Really, really save that investment for you. And if you guys are looking to change jobs, I'm not saying, because I hear this all the time, easier said than done. Little triggering for me. I hear this one a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't choose to share that I was married for the longest time. Why? Because I knew deep down that people would say, well, you have someone, so that's really easy for you to say. And it's funny because I was actually sharing that with Mr. Moon not too long ago. And he knows my past, you guys. He knows the crap that I went through before him and I got together. And I know all about this. I know all about suffering. I know all about all these things that I'm telling you guys. I know all about it. And I pulled myself out of those situations. And when I did that, that is when him and I came back together, because I was truly ready to leave the past behind. I was truly ready to leave it behind. And even though him and I got together and we had our own toxicity together and some of our own, individual wounds, we're a team now working on this, and it's not smooth sailing. But there's just always so much judgment and shame. Like, you don't understand what I'm going through because you're married. The hell I do. I was in your position before. I know exactly what the fuck you're going through. So it really irritates me when people say that. But anyways, why did I even go into that? I actually don't even know, because I guess I was triggered in that moment. But yeah, that's just what I'm seeing here. So spiritually, your higher self, you guys know that you're being guided away from investing any more time in this situation. Do some research, try to figure out how you can exit, make an exit plan if you guys are connected to this person, because you have to be. I know some of you guys are actually either married to this person. That's another thing. That's another layer. And you're right. When you have kids together or you're legally tied to someone, let's not pretend that that's not totally just, insurmountable. But what I will tell you is this. My husband, Mr. Moon, has an ex, total narcissist to the hills. We've been dealing with the situation for 12 years. The total campaigning of his entire family and his ex-friends and everything have all sided with her. We've lost everything, okay? And then you have the 2 stepkids that we, shared custody with, and having to try to co-parent with all the lies and just all this stuff. Very difficult to do. But there were tactics that we used, and we did have the help of a therapist, so that did help us as well. But it was very much a business arrangement only. And even to this day, 12 years later, you guys, a narcissist, as in her, will still try old tricks. Even though they don't work, she'll still try it anyways to try to manipulate or to get some kind of leg up in a situation. The thing is nothing, no discussion. There's always lies. There's never any truth there, or it's always just very convoluted, right? So there's no point in talking to someone where there's not going to be honesty. And it's never about the children. There's always something else going on. So if it's not about the kids, there's no point in having even a physical conversation as in over the phone, because that's where the manipulation is. That's where the games is. That's just where all the crap is. So everything is through text. Everything is through an email. Everything is documented. There is no relationship. There is no seeing each other. There is no speaking on none of those things. And I'm not trying to say that that's going to be possible in everybody's situation. But we had to really put up some super crazy ass boundaries because we were freaking serious, and we were tired of the games, and we were tired of the manipulation. So when you're dealing with people like that, especially if they're connected to your kids and things like that, there are going to be some things that you're just going to have to accept that just totally blow and suck. And there's nothing that you can do about it. But what you can do is that you can put certain steps into place for yourselves to save your own sanity and really break it down. Do I need to have a conversation with this person over the phone? No, there is no legal, there's no law that says you have to speak to someone, right? So there's communication in writing, but there's no law that says that an ex-wife and an ex-husband must speak on the phone. So I think sometimes we get caught up in, oh, well, I have to do this, or I have to do that. When you're really serious about something, you will do your research and you will find out how your time is being siphoned or even tried to be controlled by other people. And you will manage your life, your spirit. You will manage things in a different way when you're serious about no longer dealing with people that are toxic and that want to hurt you and take you down. If you don't want to be abused anymore, you will find a way to heal and to put up healthy boundaries and to not suffer at the hands of just either a toxic person, narcissist, evil fuck, all of the above. It can be done, you guys. It can be done. So anyways, now we're going to go ahead and go into, let's see what the energy of this person is with how they view the situation, okay? So it's not necessarily what they think about you. From their point of view or their perspective, what is this, right? What is the situation with you? We have admired. What else? We have luxury. Ooh, interesting. Getting kind of a funny vibe here. Wow. Okay. The vibe that I got, which was kind of funny, is that this person actually has a little bit of a jealousy with you. They might either see you as somebody who's very privileged, okay? Somebody that doesn't know or understand their pain. This could also, though, be someone who is in another relationship that's not going to be for everyone. and they're trying to do something to where they don't look a certain way. So it's kind of like they don't want to be found out. They don't want people to hate them. They don't want people to, not accept them. So to me, it's like a show. It's a front. It's a mask. This person cares about what other people think. So when it comes to your connection with them, what I'm getting here is that they might see a few things here. They might see you as being privileged. You don't understand how they feel about, or how they feel. You can't understand their situation. That's another one. And I'm also getting here that they might see that you have expectations of them that they can't deliver, or they simply have another relationship going on and they can't. Or I'm also getting I'm getting a lot of messages here. They have a family or certain expectations of their family or culture that doesn't include you. So it's not saying that this person really is seeing you in a negative light, but the way that they see the situation is that it's something that's not a fit for them. It's something that just can't be. And they might also blame a lot of people for their problems. And so again, you're dealing with someone who's not able to take responsibility for what they don't have, or they're very jealous and envious of other people, which could include you. That's very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get a couple other cards here. We have the Six of Cups. This person does think about you, okay? They do think about you. And I do feel that they do feel some sort of also attachment to you as well. So it's not like this was completely one-sided. It's not like they never think about you, out of sight, out of mind. They just may have felt like they did not have what it took in order to give you the life that you were looking for. They could see you as somewhat as high maintenance as well. Or it could even be, you deserve better than me. Kind of like, feel sorry for me. I'm just a mess. I am getting that too. Somebody's telling you, I'm just too damaged. I can't make anybody happy. You're dealing with someone like that. And they're also very stuck on their past. There's a past trauma that they haven't healed. So there's a bunch of different scenarios going on here. Just take what resonated with you. Yeah, we have divine masculine. In a way, it's almost like I'm getting from them that they know that you deserve it all. They know that you deserve a stable partner, but they don't believe that they're stable for you. They don't believe that they can be who you need them to be. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, so it's almost like I'm hearing the words, just move on with your life. I don't know if some of you guys have heard that, but I am seeing here, just choose another. It's almost like the Legends of the Fall movie with Brad Pitt. So that's coming to mind. There could be the scenario, even though that was a very tragic, like, love triangle or love whatever. There was like all the brothers were involved in that one. But he says to her after he goes away, because he's very damaged from his past. He's very damaged from the death of his brother, etc. And so he was very much in love with her at one time, kind of like in the very beginning of the reading, how there was like this very intense connection between you and this person. So it's almost like, how could this person no longer be into me when they were so into me at one time? I just feel like some kind of, like, they feel like a letdown. They feel like they're not going to be able to give you the life that you deserve, or that what they think that it's going to make you happy. They might, again, feel like you expect too much. There's too much pressure. They can't match up. They can't, I can't think of the word I want to use. They just can't match up to your expectations. Meet your expectations. That's what it is. They can't meet your expectations. Yeah. But there is a jealous vibe here. It's the very first message I got is that this person sees you and they're jealous of you. And I'm not trying to say like they're jealous of you, like they're, plotting and they want you to fail. It's not that kind of jealousy. It's kind of like well, you don't understand, or I didn't have the same life as you. I didn't have the same upbringing as you. So, you don't understand how I feel, or this is just who I am. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense, you guys. But yeah, this person definitely, they've definitely have some damage, and there's a lot of excuses that have been either made, or a lot of excuses that are actually being dealt still. And I am getting for a very, very small portion of you that this individual loves to be in the limelight, that they're very much focused only on money, pentacles, and luxury and the finer things in life. They may have ditched you to be with somebody for money, unfortunately. But regardless of what scenario resonated with you, this person is not the kind of person that's trying to make this work with you. They're not the kind of person that's trying to come back into your life and to be with you. Now with that 6 of Cups energy, that could be something that they're putting on the back burner for much later, but they've got something else going on, or there's some kind of an excuse or something that they're doing right now to where they can't be with you. But they do think of you. But to me, I'm getting, it's not enough. It's not enough. That's a nice thought, but it's not enough to build any future plans on. Definitely not. So now let's go ahead and go into how are you growing and ascending from this situation? So the viewer, how are you growing from this situation? How are you growing and ascending from the situation? Oh, this is beautiful. First of all, the Sagittarius energy is expansion. You are expanding. You are growing, you guys. The Sagittarius is also a very adventurous spirit, traveling, opening up, seeing the humor in life, very philosophical, somebody who is actually speaking their truth, right? They're being very brutally honest, not only with themselves, but other people, which tells me that if you guys haven't had a voice before, you guys are certainly growing in that department. So that's a really beautiful thing. And we have believe. I create my own reality based on what I choose to believe. I never give up on my dreams. So this is a true statement. Whatever you believe in is going to become real for you, right? But when it comes to dreams that are connected to other people, we seem to forget that free will is a factor. You can't interrupt somebody's free will. And so just because you believe that maybe you and this person should be together doesn't mean that it makes it so. You can sit there and pray all day long for that to happen. But again, if that person doesn't want it, it's not going to make it happen. So remember, take the hose and turn it on yourself. Shower yourself. Saturate yourself with love, right? Admire yourself. Believe in you. That's where the arrows need to go, not away from you, towards you, in a safe way. All right, let's go ahead and get another. So you guys are growing. You guys are expanding. You guys are ascending. You guys are learning. This is awesome. Oh, love this. Yes, the world. The world is ruled by the planet Saturn. Saturn is burdens, karma, hardships. No longer. Okay, it doesn't mean you'll never have a tough time ever again. But I'm getting here that you have come full circle with this situation, this person, the entire thing. You're ready to close the door and open up a new chapter in your life. So that, you guys, is how you are ascending and you're growing. That's amazing. All right, so now we're going to see the shadow. So what is the leftover shadow that you still have attached to this individual, all right? What is the leftover shadow that you have attached to this individual? Okay, we have one-sided. And I'm not saying that it's one-sided because you guys did clearly see that this person does think about you from time to time. It may not be as much as you think about them, but it's not like they've never thought about you again, that you've never crossed their mind, okay? But if one of you is trying and the other one isn't, if one of you is making all of the moves and the other person isn't really, doing anything, then it's one-sided. So I feel like this is a shadow that you guys are going to be or have already released. Oh, I love this. This is really cute. The goth girl. She's strange, she's unusual, and she's complex. I feel like some of you guys may have been told throughout your lives that you're complex, that you expect too much, that you want too much, that you want it all. You're not living in reality. So I kind of feel like some of you guys might even be looking at your what you want, looking at your expectations. There could be a little bit of truth to that, but I'm also getting the message too that this person that you're dealing with may have created a little bit of that judgment in you. Meaning you listen to this person tell you you want too much. That's not reality. That's not how love works. That's not this, that's not that. That person that you've been dealing with is very, very traumatized. They have a lot of issues. So when someone with those types of issues is constantly making judgments against you and projecting their crap onto you, sometimes we can start to believe that, you guys. So some of you might feel like you're unlovable. Some of you guys might feel like you expect too much, or that maybe because you want certain things that's unrealistic. So I feel like this shadow here does need to be examined. We do need to look at this. Well, excuse you, Sharky, she's sneezing. I do feel like you guys need to look at this and say, is this what I think, or is this what this person thinks about me? Right? So we need to kind of look at that. Is this a one-sided view from your person? Is that really who you are? Who they told you were? All those judgments that they might have made, or those bad things or negative things that they said to you, is that really who you are? Did you just accept that as truth because maybe you didn't have a lot of self-worth or esteem at the time? I know I fell into that trap. I had somebody tell me a lot of horrible things about me. And I believed it hook, line, and sinker for the longest time. And it doesn't mean that there wasn't a little bit of truth to that, but I wasn't a complete and total piece of shit. I wasn't completely and totally unlovable. So when people say things, the words are so powerful. They can do so much freaking damage. They can linger in our minds and our souls for a very, very, very long time. And in my case, it was over a decade. So sometimes energy, when you feel it over and over and over again, there's a reason. It means that we need to clear it on our side. It doesn't even matter about that person at this point, you guys. That's the point of these readings, is to help you guys to see that this connection, no matter how amazing it was at one time or how important you thought it was at one time, what's most important is you and what you're going to learn from this, what you're going to do with all of this. It doesn't even matter what that person thinks about you, what they're learning, etc. It doesn't even freaking matter. What matters is you. So celebrate yourselves, you guys. Lean into some of these complex ways about you. I know I'm a very complex person. Mr. Moon, I'm not saying he loves it all the time, but he really admires how complex I am. He's certainly on his toes. He's a freaking Gemini. He needs that mental stimulation. I'll tell you that right now, okay? Because if I was boring, then maybe he wouldn't be so, intrigued. So there's someone out there for everyone, you guys. You will meet the right person that will celebrate these things about you. They'll celebrate how deep you are. They'll celebrate how maybe strange you are. Maybe they'll be strange and unusual and complex too. And I met my Halloween king because I love Halloween, and I've been told my entire life that I'm evil because I love all this dark shit. And then I met Mr. Moon when we were younger, but we reconnected. And it turns out he loves Halloween just as much as I do. So together on Halloween night, we celebrate being the craziest, darkest, unusual, and strange couple on the street. Seriously, our entire neighborhood comes to our house and they're just like, oh my God, I can't believe this freaking setup. It's just great. We love it. So anyways, all right, what else? And we have Hermit again. So the Hermit came up 2 times. I like this. Examine yourself. Don't see yourself through the lens of other people. It's distorted. How do you feel about yourself? What do you see? That's what's important here, you guys. That's what's important. So There is a shadow. There is some kind of shadow work that still I feel needs to be done. There's some kind of judgment or words or persecution from another person. And this may not have to do with this person. It could be even someone from your past, like a parent, a friend, another relationship, whatever. But whatever this is, we have to take the time to examine why we think the way that we do, why we feel the way that we do. Where did it come from? Is it even our own thoughts at this point? Or is it just a false fucking belief? Right? So there's something in that leftover shadow for us to examine. So what does Spirit want you to release right now? Down and dirty, what does Spirit want you to release right now? Okay, this one wanted to just pop up. Wow. Wow. Spirit is keeping it real. Nostalgia, memories, right? So to me, this is like your life portfolio. This is what you have accomplished and the experiences that you've had so far. So what does Spirit want you to let go of? They want you to let go of the past. We can't change the past. All we can do is learn from it. We can celebrate ourselves. Sure, we can recall things, whatever. But to dwell on the past, to dwell in the, being nostalgic our entire lives over a situation, to ruminate over the past. Spirit says that shit's gotta go. It's gotta frickin' go. It doesn't serve a positive purpose in our lives. It just doesn't. So let me grab these other cards here. What else? What else needs to go? What else do we need to release right now? Okay, so we also need to release our need to try to defend something to the death. Sometimes the things that we hold, like we're so convicted, right? Because we believe something, or, I'm right and you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with holding an opinion or holding healthy boundaries to keep yourself safe, etc. But when you are unable to let go and to consider other things, you're not really going to expand. You're not really going to live. And we can see with the Sagittarius card that you guys are expanding. So continue to expand. Try not to defend something to the death, because something might just be different than you thought, and that's okay. Something might just straight up be counterfeit. It's not what you thought. Maybe it was a lie. But you know what, you guys? What I have learned is that sometimes the lies can get us through difficult times. And this is going to bring me back to the very beginning of the reading when we were asking what Spirit wants us to know about this person or the situation. Sometimes things can be safe, relaxing, tranquil, and calm. Sometimes the fantasies or the lies that we tell ourselves can be soothing. But once those things become intrusive in your life, or they're complicating your life, or they're creating stagnancy, that's when it's time to realize that some of these maybe dreams, fantasies, or lies can become dangerous. They can also become very harmful. So, Spirit is telling you, try not to defend something that maybe could be counterfeit. It might be hard to admit or to believe that maybe this person who you thought was, something or whatever, turned out that they're not. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be mistaken. It's okay that maybe you didn't have it completely right, or it's okay that maybe it was different than you originally thought. Take the memories with you and move on to accomplish new and greater things. I love that. So we're letting go of counterfeit. We're letting go of things that just are false. So now we're going to end this reading with some final thoughts from Spirit for the viewer. So this is my Tarot Libs deck, so I'm going to grab a couple of topics, and then that's what we're going to base the final messages on. How can I improve my connection to my higher self? That's really beautiful. I love that. A revelation that will help you overcome your challenges. Whoops. And the vibration that you're currently emitting. Ooh, very cool. So let's see what we got. So we're going to start off with this one here first. Oops, how can I improve my connection to my higher self? So this is a new deck of mine. I've got two right now. The Oracle of Chance and the Tarot Libs. Oh my gosh, this is cool. How can I improve my connection to my higher self? Seek the advice of a professional. So maybe this would be some sort of spiritual teacher, somebody that you resonate with, some kind of philosophy, right? That helps you to improve your connection to your higher self. Maybe like a seminar or a workshop or a class on meditation, or certain exercises and things that you can utilize in order to improve this energy. Wow, love that. What else? Oh, we have indulge yourself. Don't forget to treat yourself. This will also improve your connection to your higher self. When you treat yourself, when you love yourself, things will improve. You'll start to build that relationship with yourself. And we have introverted, serious, deep and profound, and aloof in nature. So this is also telling us, you guys, that spending time alone, all right, spending time in that hermit energy also gives you time to examine yourself. It helps you to take the time that you need to block out distractions and go within. So if you guys are really, really wanting to improve your relationship with yourself, you're going to have to make an investment. It doesn't just happen when we're hanging out with people 24/7. You're going to need that time for you. We have protection. So this to me is like the shell. All right. It's the shell here that we are, kind of blocking everything out. So it's not about blocking everything out. It just means that we do have to protect our energy. So if some of you guys, so this to me, this is, since I've been pretty much talking a lot about myself in this reading, why stop now? I'll continue. I've had to make a decision for myself just recently to stop doing personal readings. The main reason was because I wanted to dedicate more time to doing other things, and I couldn't do that when I was taking on so many clients and readings. But the underlying energy, I think, has always been that I need to protect my energy. And it's not that there's anything wrong with the people that I was working with or anything like that. It was that I was absorbing things. I wasn't able to block certain things out, whether it was judgments that I was, making, or assumptions I was making about the energies, or just getting really involved, in the issues and the problems, almost like taking on for myself. And then making judgments about other people's situations connected to this. So there was a lot of energy. It was too much energy for me. And I'm an empath, so it just made it very difficult to navigate. So instead of try to kind of protect myself more and do this and do that, I just decided that the best thing for me personally was to just stop doing personal readings altogether. And it's been, I think this is week 3 that I have not done personal readings, and I've really felt a shift. I've really felt a shift in my energy. I felt a shift in my mood. I've just felt a shift. And it's not to say that anything negative was taking place with because of the people I was working with, because a lot of those people were absolutely lovely. So definitely no negative vibes there whatsoever. It's not about that. It was just me. You kind of have to know what your strong suits are. And I'm just not sure that it was a super strong suit for me to be able to cut the energy and leave it behind and not take it with me into my daily life. I was having a real hard time with that. So I just feel that if you guys want to connect with your higher self, there could be things that you do need to cut out. So for instance, it could be maybe some, like something that you do like a hobby or some kind of a membership that you belong to or something that you do every single day. If something isn't really helping you or it's eating away a lot of your energy and resources and time, you might need to cut that off. You might need to make a sacrifice is the message that I'm seeing here. So I hope that that makes sense, because that's, what I had to do essentially. So now this second one is a revelation that will help you overcome your challenges. All right, let's get it. A revelation that will help you overcome your challenges. It is, okay, what I want to say right now, because it's coming to me. Do you remember back in the old days when I used to do 1.5 hour long readings? I know that when I stopped doing them, you guys were like, oh my gosh, I'm talking about like, my old timers here. If you guys are still here, I don't know if you are, but let me know in the comments below. But I used to do very long readings and you guys loved it. You guys loved the long readings, and some people didn't. I get that. Not everybody has time, but I have not had the energy to do a long reading like this. I'm not doing personal readings anymore on week 3. I'm just sitting here and I'm doing this reading. I have the energy. I'm not worried about anything. I don't have any have-tos today. So I'm able to just let this flow, and I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, holy shit, it's been a minute. It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. Whoa. So this reading will technically probably end at 1.5 hours. When's the last time I did 1.5 hour reading? Man, this is going to take forever to upload too, but it is what it is. So anyways, back to this. A revelation that will help you overcome your challenges. We have Medusa and evil eyes watching you. Interesting. None of us want to believe that there are people out there that don't want good things for us. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of issues. And a lot of the times when you just kind of move on with your life and you ignore things and you don't pay attention to things, it's just it doesn't affect you. What you do focus on does seem to affect you because you're invested in it. So if you guys know that there are people out there that want bad things to happen to you, or they're thinking bad things about you, or whatever the situation is, the revelation is do your best to just shift your focus and your attention onto something else. Don't feed this Medusa. Don't feed this energy. So if someone posts something online or they say something to someone that and it gets back to you, don't take the bait. So that's the revelation that's going to help you to overcome your challenges, is don't get involved with Medusa-like people. Don't give them that power over you. Don't give them the satisfaction. Even if it does piss you off, don't give them the satisfaction of knowing that it did. Just keep doing you. Keep living your freaking life, because people like that, they're just going to end up fucking themselves. There you go. I love it. Oh, all right. What else? Okay, so we have these 2 cards that just came out. Whoa. Dark Night of the Soul, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, a letdown closing act, documents and contracts, financial rewards, promotions and success, good fortune. Look, there is some kind of Medusa-like situation or person that either I'm getting was in your life. They're not in your life anymore. All right. Closing act, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. They were actually a freaking Medusa. They weren't your fan. They weren't your friend. They weren't for you. They were against you. So guess what? The way that you can overcome this challenge is to close the motherfucking door. Just close it. Slam it if you need to. Maybe you already did. Because now, since you've done that, or when you make this decision to do that, immediately we have the Ace of Clubs that's following this, which means new energy, good fortune, new contracts with new people. So just leave this Medusa in the past. Put the Medusa on ignore. And anybody that's trying to connect you to that Medusa, you might need to let them know. Don't, or you might need to cut that person off too. That's what I'm saying. Break free. Look. Andy's trying to break free from that cute little Halloween tie that I put on him. Oh, it's so cute. He's like, get that thing off of me. Yeah. So that's it, you guys. It's time to gnaw off. Seriously, we've got to gnaw off the tie between us and this Medusa. Let somebody keep watching you. Let somebody keep hating on you. Let somebody keep spreading lies and gossip about you. Keep moving forward with your life. Don't give this any attention. Okay, so we have 2. Wow. Yeah. You want to know why you're going to do that? Because you've got things to do, baby. You've got things to create. You've got abundance and prosperity, and you have your health. So whenever you are focused on negative things, okay, let me take that back. Crappy things happen. And I'm not suggesting that we're not admitting to ourselves that the reality is that bad things are happening or things suck. But we can choose to plug into that like some of that toxic energy, or pay attention to something that someone else is saying, or go searching online for things that people are saying or doing. We can do that. Or we can break free from that energy, and we can instead improve our mental health by focusing on things that we want to create that will bring prosperity and abundance. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to be affected or taken down by this bitch of an energy named Medusa. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Don't let someone else make you a Medusa either. Really try to break free from revenge. It's not a pretty place. Okay. So now we are going to go into this very last message, the vibration I am currently emitting. Ooh, I love this. Perfume, instant chemistry, and attraction with someone. Yeah. So if you guys are wanting to attract a new partner in, new friendships, a new job, whatever, I am seeing that this energy looks frickin' prime. This energy looks really, really good. Okay? Good stuff here. You're attracting someone. Your energy, your vibration is attracting someone in. Ooh, we have a plan. And I kind of like that, you guys, because remember earlier when it was talking about you need to have some sort of plan if you're wanting to break free from a cycle, or break free from a place, or break free from a situation that could be tying you to a toxic person. This plan of you doing this new vibration, it's almost like it's creating something new. It's creating a new opportunity. Just the fact that you're starting to take steps and action steps, it's almost like we're co-creating with the universe at this point. We're co-creating with spirit. Spirit knows our intentions. We want to break free. We want to improve our lives. We want to be happier. So just that energy alone is starting to create what you want. All right, last message. Orange. First of all, orange is connected to the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is all about the way that we connect with other people. You are enthusiastically just moving towards warmer energies, warmer times, exciting times, connecting with other people where there is going to be chemistry, but it's going to be new. It's going to be of a higher vibration. It's not going to be of that same toxic situation that may have occurred between you and past individuals. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Again, just take what resonated for you and get rid of anything that didn't. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down below if you guys care to. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you guys want notifications on the videos that I post, because it seems like it just drops off after like a couple of weeks, right? Make sure that you guys go ahead and do it again if you want to. It does help my channel. All right, you guys, thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.